Back when gas was cheap, the streets were wide, and overkill was just another selling point. Detroit was in a different kind of arms race, one measured in cubic inches, not diplomacy. These engines weren't made for racetracks or showrooms. They were built for the open road, and anyone with a signature and a steady paycheck. Today, we're counting down the 10 largest engines ever factory installed in American passenger cars. No swaps, no prototypes, just raw, street-legal madness. 10. Buick 455 Stage 1 7.5 liters, the silent hammer. In 1970, while everyone was focused on Chevelle SS's and Plymouth Cudas, Buick quietly dropped a nuclear bomb into the grand sport. The 455 Stage 1 wasn't just big, it was brilliant. This wasn't your grandfather's Buick. With 360 horsepower and a devastating 510 pound-feet of torque, the Stage 1 made more twist than a 427 big block Chevy. But here's the kicker. It made all that torque at just 2,800 RPM. Traffic light to traffic light, nothing could touch it. The secret? Buick engineers didn't just bore out cylinders, they redesigned the entire breathing system. Bigger valves, hotter cam, and a compression ratio that demanded premium fuel. The result was a luxury muscle car that could run 13.3-second quarter miles, while your passengers sipped cocktails in leather seats. 9. Chevrolet 454 AAS6 7.4 liters. The last roar. The muscle car era was dying, strangled by insurance companies and emissions regulations, but Chevrolet wasn't going down without a fight. Enter the LS6, the most powerful engine ever offered in a Chevelle SS. On paper, 450 horsepower. In reality, Chevrolet was lying in the best possible way. Independent dyno tests consistently showed 500-plus horsepower at the wheels. Why the deception? Insurance rates. General Motors deliberately underrated their engines to keep their cars affordable for young buyers. The LS6 wasn't just powerful, it was engineered for war. Solid lifters, 11-to-1 compression, and a Holley 800 CFM carburetor that could inhale small children. The cam profile was so aggressive that the engine barely idled, shaking the entire car at traffic lights like a caged animal. But put your foot down, and magic happened. 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds. Quarter mile in 13.12 seconds at 108 miles per hour. These weren't just impressive numbers for 1970. They were competitive with modern muscle cars. In a Chevelle SS, you weren't just driving a car. You were piloting a 4,000-pound missile that happened to have license plates. 8. Ford 460V8 7.5 liters. The road yacht engine. Forget everything you think you know about the Ford 460. Yes, it powered Lincoln Continentals and Mercury Marquis, land yachts that weighed more than some buildings. But dismissing the 460 as just a luxury engine is like calling a battleship just a boat. Introduced in 1968, the 460 was Ford's answer to Cadillac's massive V8s. But where Cadillac prioritized smoothness, Ford built the 460 for torque, mountains of it. In stock form, the 460 produced 365 horsepower and 485 pound-feet of torque. But the real magic happened in the engineering. The 460 had the largest bore and stroke of any Ford V8 ever built, 4.36 inches by 3.85 inches. Those aren't just numbers. They're the dimensions of automotive dominance. The engine was so overbuilt that stock internals could handle 600-plus horsepower with basic modifications. 7. Cadillac 472 V8, 7.7 liters. Effortless power. While the muscle car wars raged between Chevrolet, Ford, and Chrysler, Cadillac was playing a completely different game. They weren't building engines for drag strips or street races. They were engineering rolling monuments to American excess, and the 472 V8 was their masterpiece. The numbers tell only part of the story. 375 horsepower, 525 pound-feet of torque. But those figures came with zero drama, zero vibration, and zero effort. The 472 was designed to pull a 5,500-pound El Dorado from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 9 seconds, while the passengers discussed stock portfolios over brandy. What made the 472nd special wasn't just its size, it was the engineering philosophy. Cadillac built this engine with tolerances so tight that many ran for 300,000-plus miles without major repairs. The bore spacing was massive, allowing for enormous displacement without stress. The crankshaft was forged, not cast. Even the valve covers were works of art. 6. Chrysler, 440. Magnum, 7.2 liters, the all-around monster. If the 440 Magnum were a person, it would be that friend who could fix your plumbing, help you move, and then drag race your neighbor's Camaro, all in the same afternoon. The 440 wasn't just an engine, it was Chrysler's Swiss Army knife, appearing in everything from luxury sedans to fire-breathing muscle cars. Introduced in 1966, the 440 came in two distinct personalities. The standard 440 was the gentleman, smooth, reliable, perfect for moving mom's station wagon. But the 440 Magnum? That was the engine's evil twin, with a hotter cam, better heads, and an attitude problem that could clear a parking lot. 5. Ford 429 Cobra Jet, 7.0 liters. The two big Mustang. The 429 was so massive, Ford had to literally reshape the Mustang's front end just to fit it. Boss 429s looked like Mustangs, but they were something else entirely, a machine built to scare Chevys and tame NASCAR. 4. Chrysler 426 Hemi, 7.0 liters. The elephant. It wasn't just an engine, it was a statement. 425 horsepower on paper, nearly 500 in reality. It hated traffic, guzzled high octane, and demanded respect. Streetable? Barely. Legendary? Absolutely. 3. Chevrolet 427 ZL1 7.0L, the aluminum Phantom. Only 69 Camaros and 2 Corvettes ever got it. All aluminum. Race bred. $4,000 option in 1969. That's over $30,000 today. Officially, 430 horsepower. Unofficially, close to 600. It wasn't a car. It was a missile with license plates. 2. Cadillac 500 UV8, 8.2 liters. The crowned giant 500 cubic inches. The biggest displacement ever in a U.S. production car. Made for the 1970 El Dorado, it was smooth, strong, and completely ridiculous. 550 pound-feet of torque in a front-wheel drive luxury boat. 1. GMC Twin 6, 512, 11.5 liters, the forbidden one. It never came in a car, but a few maniacs reportedly stuffed it into hot rods anyway. Built by GMC for trucks, this V12 was literally two inline sixes merged together. 702 cubic inches. Over 630 pound-feet of torque at just 1,600 RPM. The name? Twin 6. The legend? Untouchable. So tell us, would you take the elegance of a Cadillac 500, the fury of a 426 Hemi, or the insanity of a Twin 6 hot rod? Drop your pick in the comments. And if you live for the sound of old-school horsepower, hit like, subscribe, and buckle up. Because here, the golden age never really ended. See you in the next burnout.